welcome back to another improvised reading. I was going to say reading vlog, but no, it's a TBR. And because it's improvised, the ice cubes on my matcha have nearly melted, leaving me a really watered down matcha. Anyway, so I was just going to start recording a reading vlog, and then I realized that this reading vlog will probably come out in October, and we are already at the end of September, and I haven't recorded a September wrap up or an August wrap up or like any video about August for that matter. I did record videos in September that are still not up. They will be at some point. But yeah, so I was like, let's record an October TBR. That seems like something I will do, and I will never go to. And yeah, while I was preparing everything for this video, like the background, taking out the books so that it looks fun, my matcha watered down, and now it's like super watered down matcha. And I am sweaty, and my hair doesn't look anymore as good as it looked in the intro of the other video that I wanted to start recording today, which I did start recording that one. So let's get on to it, shall we? Once again, don't pay attention to the bottom shelf, because the bottom shelf just has my makeup, which I haven't put any on. I should maybe. That was an alarm. Anyway, maybe I should have. Nah, it's okay. With the glasses, you can nearly not see my under eye bags. So there's that. That's fun. But yeah, I've been in class for 3 weeks, and I look like I've been in class for 3 years back to back, which I've also been in. And this is where I put all my TBR. I'm a student. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't get money from YouTube. Of course, I have to read stuff for class, but I also have 2 jobs right now, and classes, and getting my driver's license, and Chinese classes. So of course I'm not going to like go ahead and fill up the entire cart with books, because I know that I'm not going to read them. And anyway, this cart also acts as storage for me. Here I have some art supplies and my makeup, and then it also acts as TBR and night table, because my bed is here and I didn't have space to put a proper one, so I just got a book cart from IKEA, which I actually believe are for the kitchen. So I'm going to get everything that's here out, because I made this TBR in August. I did read 2 books from it, I believe, and then I forgot about it. So these books have been here just collecting dust, because I didn't want to move them again. And also I don't know where I'm going to put them in my shelf, because to be fair, it's not like I have that much space. When I have my own house, I'll just have like my entire living room will be full of my books, instead of like my parents' murder mystery books. Anyway, this is the pile of books that I'm working with. This is a pile of books that I've decided that I think I want right now. I'll also put a couple of options, because I am already feeling like I am super annoying seeing this pile of books. I am not super annoying, I promise. I just have to read a lot for class. Wait, my boyfriend's calling me. If I get one more interruption, I swear I'm going to throw my phone across the room. Which that would not be nice, because I do not have money for a phone nor a camera. So what was I saying? Yeah, that I feel like the most annoying person in the planet, just already by looking at these books together and being like, oh yeah, I want to read those. So I cannot imagine what you might be thinking of me. I'll probably also put some romance books in there, just so like I can vary a little bit and not only read like super intimidating stuff, because I know that I won't read the super intimidating stuff if I only have that. So, sorry if this video seems like unorganized, I'm just going with the flow. First off, I think I'm going to get the books that I talked about in the video that I started earlier. So I have Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf, which this one was also in my previous TBR, but now I feel like I'm going to put it in the forefront, because I'm feeling more dark academia-y, classic reading-y, kind of. Then De la Feria de Tormes, which it's an anonymous book. It's one of the first novels published in Spanish, and it's anonymous because it didn't go with like Catholic values and stuff, and I have to read it for Hispanic narrative. And there are a lot of these books you will see I have to read for class. And talking about reading books for class, then we have Macbeth by William Shakespeare, which this is like a super thick edition, but it's actually like cheating, because half of it is, this part is in English and this part is in Spanish, so it's basically only half the book. But yeah, it's just Macbeth that I have to read for literary landmarks in English. Last year I read everything that I had to read in English, because I only had English subjects, but this year I'm trying to specialize in literature and English studies, which means that I have to read some stuff in Spanish too this semester. Next semester, I won't have any subjects in Spanish. I will have one in Basque, which I am excited about, but also kind of scared, because I haven't talked in Basque. I talked in Basque with my mom and sometimes like my family members, but I haven't actually done a proper class in Basque since 2nd year of uni. And this semester, I don't have any classes in Basque either. So that's going to be fun. I feel like I've lost it in general, which it's scaring me, because I know that like right after I finish my degree I want to leave again. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do to try and keep the language? Like, because I'm not going to talk to my mom every day in Basque. So like, I will have to like read or do something about it. Or speak in Basque, which like English kind of works because I have this channel, I have like other stuff to maintain my English language. I do not do anything in Basque in my daily life because I live close to the city. In the city, mostly everyone talks in Spanish. Outside of the city, people talk more in Basque. And when I'm in the summer, when we are in our hometown, I do speak more Basque. But anyway, that's mental breakdown for another time. Then we have some classic dark academia books. For example, The Secret Life of Adi LaRue. I have these books in Spanish. When like straight up when it came out, I bought it in Spanish. But at the time I was already in this transition between reading in Spanish and reading in English. And I was already feeling more comfortable with English as like the language to read in, which is what I feel right now. Like I feel like I read faster in English. I feel like the cadence or like the pace that the books have when they are written in English is different to when it's in Spanish, because like it's shorter words. So I don't know, someone who studies neurolinguistics should study that. I am not doing that. So I bought it at the time and then I've had it there up there. Like I did try to read it at some point but never actually got to it. So my brother bought it in English the other day. I'm not sure if he has already read it. No, actually he's here. I should maybe ask if it's okay. It's okay. When he sees this video, if he has any complaints, he will come to complain, so it's okay. And then I have Nine House by Leigh Bardugo, which this book I bought in Porto 2 years ago when I went to Itisaro with one of my best friends, and I still haven't read it, which like I should feel ashamed, but then, like at the same time I feel like there is some kind of books which are like the dark academia books that seem challenging or daunting that I only feel like reading in October, November, so I'll probably not feel like reading. Like I'm putting all these books in my list and then in 2 weeks I won't feel like reading them anymore and I'll be like, what the hell do I do? And I will choose to read the romance. But it's okay. Then there is another classic which is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I just had a mental breakdown trying to find this book because I couldn't find it. And my boyfriend gifted it to me, so I can't lose it. So yeah, my boyfriend gifted this to me because the first date we were going to watch a movie and he suggested Pride and Prejudice and I was like, no, I have to read the book first. I cannot watch the movie first. And I have only read one Jane Austen book in my entire life, which is Persuasion by Jane Austen. I liked it, it was okay-ish, but I feel like I need to read Pride and Prejudice because it's like the classic Jane Austen book. I also want to read Emma, Northanger Abbey. I want to basically read everything there is out there. Hopefully if it's here I won't lose it again, because I just had like 3 mental breakdowns and then it was literally in my face. I'm going to go like really fast through these books because these are also class books that I don't know exactly when I will have to read, but it's probably between October and November in this semester. But yeah, they are Spanish books, they are relevant in Spanish, but I don't think English people know them. So like if you are maybe American, British, you may not know them if you don't know about Spanish literature of the 19th century or Hispano-American literature. So yeah, I'm just going to do it fast. So there is Los Paces de Ulloa by Emilia Pardo Bazán. My professor said that we could choose just one book. I think late 19th century, she said. Right now I don't remember. But yeah, she said that we could choose any book from the late 19th century, from the Spanish sphere, of course. And we could read that for class. So I'm reading this one. I have to choose another one and read another one. So if you have any recommendations, you can leave them down there in the comment section. But it cannot be Doña Perfecta by Benito Pérez Galdós because we already have to read this for the same subject. So it wouldn't make sense. So yeah, also I do not want to read La Regenta. So please, not that one. Because I've heard it's long. And like I have to read like 8 books for this subject. Like I am not doing that. So please choose wisely. And then we have some poems and tales from different Hispanic authors that I also have to read. And then another book that I will also have to read probably this month, which is Pedro Páramo by Juan Rulfo, which is one of the first, I think it's one of the first like important novels in Latin America. But don't actually trust me on this one because we still haven't gotten to that lesson. Like whenever we get to that lesson, my teacher will tell me why we have to read this. For now, I only have the name. And these 3 books I got like secondhand shopping and on Vinted. So yeah, I actually got them pretty cheap, which is nice. At least for once, I don't have to spend a lot of money in books. And then there are some books that are a little bit for younger audience. I don't know if this one is young adult or not. But we have Before We Were Strangers by René Carlino, which I started a couple of years ago actually. I went to the hairdresser. I read up until page 63, chapter 7, and then I didn't read anymore. But I feel like because today it was so rainy and so gloomy, I'm feeling in the mood to read it. And I think that's like the only reason why, because it was rainy, gloomy, and I was like, oh, actually, let's read a rainy, gloomy book. And then this one, I do believe it's a YA book. It's Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I don't know when I'm going to read it. I feel like I want to do a Sarah J Maas reading vlog, which would be this one, and then A Court of Mist and Fury, but I still feel like I don't know, because I mean, I feel like people would be interested in that, but I have to be in a really specific mood to read fantasy. I'm not a big fantasy reader usually. I do like it, and I do feel like when I'm surrounded by certain people who like fantasy, I'll get more into it, but right now, yeah, most of my friend group reads romance and stuff, and I'm not usually in the mood to read fantasy. Also, I feel like it's going to change my life, and I don't think I'm ready for it. Like, I feel like when I don't read books at the time that I should have read the books, then I feel like they don't hit the same, and then I end up having books that everyone thinks they are so amazing, so beautifully written, so amazing. I repeated that word, but yeah, and I don't feel anything for them, like zero. I have the emotional depth of a rock sometimes, of a literal wall. Like you could throw anything at me and I would be like, yeah, I haven't read 600 pages on you, so I don't care. And that is a joke. I do have empathy. I'm not a sociopath. And then we have, maybe for the 3rd October in a row, The Secret History by Nona Tart. I started reading this actually when I made my first uni vlog. So yeah, that was before I went on Erasmus, the October of the year before I went on Erasmus. It's still halfway through. It's literally, I'm here. I feel like it's actually like when I finish it, I would be able to call it one of my favorite books. Like I have it heavily annotated. Like, except this one chapter where the character is living in winter alone, but I did not care. Like that chapter was way too long. Maybe I'm stupid, but my patience was not getting that far and I was not that interested. So I have it heavily annotated. It's a book that I want to finish, and I feel like once I finish it, it will be one of my favorite books. But here we are in the constant not reading it, and I don't know why. So yeah, we'll probably, maybe we are able to finish it like this year after 3 years of not finishing it. Then we get into a little bit more of my annoying persona, which we have John Milton from Paradise Lost, which the whole interest that I have in this book is because in this one series of like motorcycle gang series that I read like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, when I was starting to get into reading in English, they mentioned this one. Like this was one of the favorite books of the character who was an English professor or an English teacher, and she was like super smart, and this is one of her favorite books, and then I was interested in it. But it's a poem. Did I know this? Yes. Did I buy it anyway? Yes. Do I like poetry? No. I am doing everything I can to avoid the one lecture that one of my favorite professors in my uni has, just because it's poetry and drama. I don't care about drama. I'm okay with drama. I'm not doing poetry. But yeah, I just got it between my 2 eyebrows, how you say it in Spanish, that I want to read this book, so. And then we have Circe by Madeline Miller. I read The Song of Achilles, was one of the first vlogs that I did in this channel, which is so funny to think about. Like, I cannot even watch that vlog nowadays. Like, I can watch back on it fondly. I can think about it and be like, yeah, wow, like it really took me so long to get that out, and I feel so proud of myself for being able to do it. At the time I was super insecure about starting a YouTube channel. At this point I don't care, because I've been at it for 3 years and I still have 200 people only watching me, so like I love you all, but yeah, I know that no one cares. So basically nowadays I don't care, but at the time I was super insecure about the blog, super insecure about the YouTube channel, and I felt like everyone was going to laugh at me, and I felt like everything had to be perfect. And then like at some point where it was like fuck it, and I posted it. Like I remember I was so anxious at the time that I used to post the videos at night when I was asleep. So like for people in the US it was okay in the time, but it was like 2 a.m. here, something like 2 a.m. 3 a.m. something like that here, and every time I posted a video I would post it like during the night, so I wouldn't chicken out at the moment of posting it. I would program it so that it would be posted while I was asleep and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So yeah, I feel like 3 years after it would be fun to like remind myself of like Madeline Miller, of like, I don't know, maybe I would blog it and like experience just, I don't know, I just feel like I see that vlog fondly, but like I'm not able to watch it because it has so many errors that to this day I itch to like sometimes delete most of my videos. But I know that most people don't watch it, they are just there as archives, so it's okay for me. I mostly use this channel as archive nowadays anyway. I do like posting, and I would love if more people were to watch my content so I could at least quit one of my jobs, because to be fair, I was fired from one, so now I have to take more hours in another, and then I have the third one, which during the winter it won't have that much stuff going on. You don't care about this, it's okay. And then I have this little art. To be fair, I do not know anything about this book. You might ask, okay, then why do you have this book that actually has a bookmark halfway through? This is the book This Little Art by Kate Briggs. I never heard anyone talking about it, I never heard anything about it, but in this flight from Belgium to Dublin last year, I was sat next to this guy who was like having a really hard time with the flight, so like he has ordered himself a beer. He kind of like made all the flight attendants believe that he was having a heart attack. nerve-wracking experience. But yeah, at some point he started talking to me, and I was like, why is he talking to me? Like, I was between two men who were mind spreading in the chairs, and I was sitting in the middle, and he started talking to me, and I didn't know why. And yeah, he started asking me about my nationality. He started asking me about the languages I speak, what I wanted to do in my life, which would be kind of nice if he hadn't made the flight attendants believe that he was having a heart attack just because Ireland lost against Scotland in rugby. So yes, I guess he was just nervous and he wanted someone to talk to, and I was next to him, so he was like, okay, yeah, let's talk to this one girl. She looks nice. And he ended up gifting me this book, which he told me it was about translation, an essay with reach and momentum of a novel. Kate Brick's This Little Art is a gender-bending song for the practice of literary translation, which like, it's so random because he had this book on himself. When the flight landed, this guy got his suitcase out of the cabinet, like the thingies that are on top of the seats, opened the suitcase, gave me this book, and then left playing music, like a loudspeaker, and fist bumping all the flight attendants, telling them like, you got me home. It's like one of my top 10 surreal experiences that I've lived. And like literally, why would a random Irish man at like a flight at 6 a.m. be like carrying a translation book? Because he could be carrying a book about anything. He could be carrying a book about animals. He could be carrying a book about physics. No, he was carrying a book about translation, and I was sitting next to him. So it's like, is this a sign of some kind? Is this something that I don't know? I feel like it's time to read this. I don't know what it is about really. I just know that. And then I have finally a book that won't make me seem like an annoying stuck-up uni student, which is Daisy Hates by Jetta Hastings. I read Magnolia Parks, or I started reading Magnolia Parks a while ago, and then it took me a while to read it in like second year of college, and now I'm reading this. But like, I'm not reading it. I started reading this. I got to page 40 and I left it there. I feel like there is a tendency here, like you can see it, right? Do I want to read it? Yes. Do I feel like I will read it? Probably no. For now, I think this will be it. If I read any romance, it will probably be on my Kindle, which is up here, probably with a battery. Is it charged? No, of course it's not. Totally my fault though. Like, it's not the Kindle that like it gets uncharged. It's the Kindle that has been sitting there for like 2 months untouched, or like 3 even. Actually, I feel like I haven't touched it an entire year. So yeah, it's literally my fault that this is always how it is, because I never charge it. So at this point, like, I want to so bad be like a dark academia girly, but like folklore is not my favorite album, and lately the only thing I can do is think I'm working late because I'm a singer. I'm not a singer, I'm a uni student. This is it for now. We'll see for once you actually get a wrap up at the end of the month. I feel like it's possible, but I don't know. This is it for now. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, you may consider subscribing, because audio is not much, and for me it will make my day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.